Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. Do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this on a regular basis, and if you guys enjoy the video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Now with that said, today's video, I want to go over the pros and cons of owning an arcade 1-up cabinet. Now, being an owner myself, I've owned the Street Fighter 2 arcade cabinet pretty much since these things came out, and just recently I bought the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet from Walmart on their Black Friday deal. And there definitely is some pros and cons to owning these things. And being an owner myself, especially of the first wave of these compared to the new generation of these things, there's quite a big difference in quality. And it definitely went up for the better, that is definitely for sure. But we are going to go over these pros and cons in this video and kind of weigh the options here. Is this something that's right for you? And going into the holiday season, is this maybe right for you to gift to somebody else? So stick with me, guys, and let's check these things out. Alright, first off I want to start out with the Street Fighter 2 cabinet. Now this was the first wave of these machines, and you can see down below here I have a custom riser. Now these first machines did not come with them, so I actually had to buy that separate. Now I paid $150 for this cabinet on sale, which was a great deal considering I was seeing them up to $299.99 almost everywhere. So $149.99, when I seen that, it was sold. And I did pay, I want to say, I don't know, maybe $65, $75 for the riser. I can't remember anymore, but I definitely needed it, and I had to buy it. I just couldn't play this machine on the ground. So think about that. If you're purchasing one of these, are you going to need the riser? And if the machine comes with that, I think that is definitely a bonus, and factor that into the price, what you're going to be saving. Because if you're somebody like me that needs that, you're going to want to have it. Because otherwise these things are tiny on the ground. My six-year-old was 5 then, and he was actually standing straight up playing. And yeah, I had to sit down to play it, and it just was uncomfortable. Now standing up, it does make it about right. It's waist height, so it's actually perfect. Now, one of the problems they were having with these early units is the paint was wearing off. So they had to come up with a solution, and they did, which was this plastic covering that you had to, at the time, basically give them all your information from purchasing this unit to send that stuff in on their website, and they would basically send one of these back to you in like a month or so. Now, besides coming with the plastic, it came with like a vinyl overlay that overlaid the artwork in case you already had paint damage. I thought that was a great touch too, so they definitely were trying to remedy the problem. So that's why if you look here in the speaker area, it doesn't line up quite with the holes, is actually because I have that vinyl overlaying the paint. I didn't know what to do with that vinyl, so I figured I'd just throw it on there anyway. Even though I had no issues with the paint at all, I figured I'd just protect it regardless, and I didn't want to cut those holes out or anything, so I just left it as is. I don't have a problem with that. Now, one thing the older models had was just a button like this for the volume, off, low, and high. So definitely not ideal, not bad, but it's nice to have a better control system for the volume, that's for sure. Now, another thing is these plastic overlays with the artwork that go around the screen are absolutely gorgeous. I love the art on them, but they have one major flaw. Now, this is on all of them. This hasn't changed, is that plastic that they use is so soft. Now, if I was to turn this off, you're gonna see scratches in there, and a lot of those were already like that when I got this. Now, I don't know if this was something that like all of them had at the time or what, but mine definitely had some scratches, and it was worse when I tried to clean it. Now, I have the same problem with my Ninja Turtles one. I actually just tried to wipe dust off of that one with my hand, and it actually put scratches in it. Very little ones, just like that. So I don't know what the greatest way to clean it is. You know, you would almost need compressed air just to blow dust off of it, because I've tried even microfiber and, you know, just the cloths that you would never think would be a problem, scratch it. So that to me is a big issue with these cabinets. But you know what? It's definitely not a deal breaker by any means, because when they're on, you don't even notice it, especially on the new ones, because the screens are brighter. Now, this is one of the first model screens, and you know, they're not bad. They definitely get the job done. Now, there is some shimmering and stuff with the HD, but you know, hey, it's fine. Like I said, for the price, I don't think you can go wrong. And these first cabinets, like this one especially, you can see I changed the ball tops to red and blue. They were actually black. I recently changed them. I am going to change out the joysticks because they are a pretty cheap quality. But, you know, they were first getting these started, trying to make a cheaper product to get these out. But since then, thank God they upgraded the sticks and the buttons. Now, I just want to show you this with the buttons real quick. Listen to this button. Hear the rattling with the spring? Now, let me go to one of the Ninja Turtle buttons. Now, that is a much better quality button. So these are some of the upgrades that the newer cabinets have, which in my opinion is awesome, and I'm glad that they did this. And they did the same thing with the sticks. I don't know if you can tell the difference in the sound with the sticks, but now I'll go to the other one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a big difference. Hear how much clickier that is? And there's a reason why, because the micro switches inside there are just a different design. The ones that are in here are actually the design that you're going to find in, you know, like better quality ones. Even the same similar style to the high quality ones. The other ones, when I opened it up and looked at them, they're quite a bit different. So I don't even, it would be even weird to swap these. You definitely wouldn't want to swap them and downgrade this cabinet, that's for sure, unless you upgraded. But you definitely wouldn't want to put the Street Fighter 2 ones in this one, because it's a hell of a downgrade. Now, you know, you can run into problems with the joysticks and the buttons. In my Street Fighter 2 one, I did run into problems with one of the player 2 buttons sticking. Now, you know, these are things that could happen in any of these systems, and over time, you're definitely going to have problems with any of the arcade system, where buttons just, things wear out, sticks wear out. I mean, the switches could break, the springs could wear out. I mean, it's just happens with wear and tear. So you have to consider that. And I did have a button that was sticking. I did have to open it up and mess with the button, and I got it to work correctly, and I put it all back together. It wasn't that big of a deal. The Ninja Turtles cabinet, on the other hand, I didn't notice it, but I did have a major problem. Now, I'm going to go into the game quick. Let's see here. Well, I want to show you first off, one of the cool things too is you can hold down a series of buttons in these games. Like right now, I have the original Ninja Turtles arcade game. You can hold down player 1 and attack at the same time for a certain amount of seconds, and it brings you back to the pick game screen. Now, it's the same thing on the Street Fighter 2 cab. When you hold the buttons down, you know, which would be one player, and they consider this the A button. If you hold these down at the same time, it will bring you back up to the menu screen where you can pick which game that you want to choose. So I'll hold this in as well. And, you know, it should, well, it's one of these here, one of these combos. One of these is A. There it is. It's this one here. So if you hold these two in, it brings you back up to this screen. Now this stuff is in the manuals, but the cool thing about like this turtle one is each one of these different players does something different. My favorite one is Raphael. If you hold his down, it actually, you can skip forward a level at a time. So you could go right to the end of the game and beat it and practice levels. I think that is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to pick Turtles in Time quick. And I want to show you just kind of the problem I was having with Raphael. Now, he was running to the left non-stop. I actually made a video on this, so if anybody already has one of these cabinets and they're watching this, definitely check out that video if you want to learn how to you know, fix one of these joysticks, because mine was basically, it was unusable. It was such a problem, and you know, I didn't even notice it right away because I didn't play every character. It wasn't until me, my wife, and my kids all played together that we noticed the problem. Now, you see my character standing there right now. He would have been running to the screen just like that the whole time, and you actually had to smack the joystick over like that to get him to go, you know, go off the edge of the screen. So now it controls effortlessly and plays how it should. Now, what I had to do is open that thing up, and I actually had to take that micro switch apart and actually fix the spring. It was like wedged in there and definitely was unplayable. I mean, really, it was a problem. And to, you know, get like Walmart to you know, hook me up with a new joystick wasn't even an option. I had to bring in the whole cabinet, and that just wasn't happening. I wasn't gonna take this thing in and then rebuild it and all that stuff. It's just it wasn't something that was gonna happen. Now, I also want to show you the volume on this cabinet. Now, I showed you on the other one how it just, you know, you have to basically you have to click it. It just has high, off, and low. This one is nice because you have this slider. It's real easy to control, and it's such a huge quality of life improvement. Alright, so I'm going to show you the sound problem that this cabinet has. Being that it has the one speaker, now it's only on certain games. There's 3 games. It only happens on certain games here, but this is one of the games. So I'll turn it all the way up so you can hear. Here's jab, jab, jab. You hear it? There's noise, no noise. Kick. No sound on this kick because it's not getting the other channel. Now that can be annoying to a lot of people. It's a little annoying to me, but I can deal with it. So that's definitely one of the problems with this cabinet. And you know, they are working on some of the cabinets with remedying this. Can't say the word, but you know, this Ninja Turtles cabinet actually has 2 speakers. I don't know if you can see up there. So I'm trying to show you up in there. There we go. You can see there's one speaker. There's the other hole for the speaker. So there's actually 2 speakers in this one. So you have both stereo channels. It sounds so much better. Yeah, my opinion, just a major improvement. And this machine is definitely not bad sounding. It does get very loud. That's for sure.
This is April of the Morning.
But other than not having lighted marquees, to me, that's something that I can add as an aftermarket thing. It would have been nice to have right off the bat, but that's something I'm going to get. This one actually does have a port on the back of the screen where you can actually add one, because they did make one that had one, so they just made them all with the port on the back of the monitor. Now the Street Fighter one does not have that because none of them had that, so that's something you have to pretty much completely modify. And you can add another speaker if you want. You can, you'll have to mod it, and these things are able to be modded, but like I said, it just doesn't come right off the bat. So these are all things that you have to think about when you're purchasing one of these. Do I think that they're worth it? Absolutely. You're getting an official licensed product from these companies. They are not bad for the price. I mean, one of these Ninja Turtle cabinets, if you were to buy one, you're looking at $3,000 plus. And, who knows for $3,000 what state that comes in. You're going to have problems. You're going to have probably put money and fixes into buying one of those cabinets. And, some of them are quite old and they could be beat up. These things are brand new. If you take care of them, I'm sure they'll last a decent amount of time. Yeah, you're going to have problems probably over time. Anything would have wear and tear. So that's just something, regardless, you're going to have to deal with. But for the price, they're definitely worth it. The quality for the price is not bad. They definitely got quite better. In my opinion, the screen being able to be scratched like that still is a problem. That's something I think they need to work on. I would love to see, glass. I know it would raise the price and make these a lot more heavier and fragile, but, I think glass is definitely easier to take care of, but I doubt that's going to happen. I'm sure, I don't know what other solutions they could come up with, but I think that's something we're all just going to have to deal with. But like for the price, it's still worth it. The thing looks and plays fantastic, just like you would expect it to. It definitely brings back a part of my childhood for sure, and that's pretty much the point. And my kids can actually jump on here and experience something that they're not going to be able to just go out and experience easily like I did as a kid. And I can bring, some of my memories home and let them experience it for the first time, which I think is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. Like I said, officially licensed. The artwork is absolutely amazing. They did a fantastic job. I mean, this one, especially this Turtles one, just looks absolutely amazing. It's definitely one of my favorite cabinets that they have made, and I had to get this. I mean, Konami no longer owns the license for this, so they did have to put Nickelodeon on the machine, which in my opinion is fine. If it really bothered somebody, I'm sure you could paint over it. But absolutely fantastic. I think it's worth the money, and I think this makes an absolutely fantastic gift for anybody that's a gamer or just an arcade enthusiast. Because for the price, it's definitely worth the money. So that's my opinion, guys. But I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video. If you're not subscribed already, think about subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this on a regular basis. And if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. But that's it, guys. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one.